for our Mythgard segment today is this tokens deck is really sweet, and I wanted to, I spent yesterday playing games on my iPad in between other things, and I actually wanted to highlight or show off one of the matches that I played through. So I clicked my profile here, there's this history tab, and these are all the games that I've played on the ladder. And I could go ahead and, was this one against Macro King? I can hit watch game here. I'm just gonna load up a replay of my game versus Macro King here. And you can play, pause, you can fast forward, you can cycle through. One thing that's a little weird about the replay is it doesn't put the player that you pick to watch the replay from on the bottom, so you can see yeah, from a feature completeness, you can see the record with my deck on the ladder when I talk about it. Here too. Mythgard is easily the most feature complete digital card game that exists, in addition to having a replay mode here where I can walk through and show some of my games to you that I played off stream over the course of the weekend. There's also an in-game deck tracker here, so I can, after the fact now, look through and see what all my opponent has in their deck. And if I like my opponent's deck, I can click this export deck button and grab it into my deck editor too. There's also one up here for the deck that I was playing as well, which is fantastic. So the basic idea of the 3-color tokens deck that I'm playing on top here is this Triforge Allegiance card that's really, really powerful. It has the persist mechanic where it's a spell that lasts over 3 turns. And at the end of each turn, if you control more minions than your opponent, everything you have in play gets +1/+1. So the basic idea is you flood the board out with units, and then you play Triforge Alliance, and they all get bigger over the course of a few turns. And I wanted to highlight this match here because my opponent is playing blue, and blue has this really powerful card that's a blue staple in most mid-range blue decks called Thunderclap that deals 2 damage to your opponent and all of their minions. So I was really surprised that the deck that I was playing was able to overcome the fact that we got clapped on turn 4. So you can see here, I'm developing my board. The primary tokens card in the tokens deck is this Academy Recruitment here, which creates 3 1/1 cadets with the focus mechanic in 3 adjacent unoccupied lanes. So it gives you a bunch of bodies for the cost of 1 card, which is very powerful. The combat system in Mythgard is lane and positional based here, so you can see my opponent deployed this unit here, which means this unit could attack past it, but if this unit wanted to attack, it has to attack into it. You can see when I mouse over them too, they highlight each other, whereas when I mouse over this one, it highlights the 3 squares in front of it here. So things are blocked by the 3 things directly in front of them, or if they're on the outskirts of the board, they're blocked by just the two on the edges. These things, you can see my opponent's board has some scenery on it. These are lane enchantments. So these give a bonus to a unit sitting in that lane. And they also make the board very pretty. They're aesthetically very pleasing. You can see in Mythgard, there's 6 different colors. The deck I'm playing is orange, green, and yellow, and my opponent's deck is blue and green. There aren't actual resources that you put into the decks. You'll note that I just burned this corrode equipment here. Basically, you can turn any card in your hand into a resource, and it gives you a total resource as well as the color here. We're technically seeing both here. But yeah, one thing I wish that they would change from the replay function is, for whatever reason, it puts the player that you choose from the spectator list, it puts their game board on top, which feels counterintuitive. I feel like you would want whoever you're picking to spectate to be down here where you would normally see your cards, but you can see my cards up top here as well. Oh, let me load. I actually don't know. Let me load the Mythgard extension. I don't know if the replay feature lets you mouse over cards or not. Actually not sure on that. Let's load that up. Normally, when I'm playing games, you can mouse over cards on the board, but I'm not sure if the extension lets you do that. Right-click on the profile picture of yours at the top. Oh, look at that. Oh, did it, like, fast forward, though? Weird. Okay, so you can... Okay, so it skipped through weird. Okay. The extension works. Okay, let me try that. Let me try that again. Let me switch it from the beginning. That must be a bug, right? Because it flipped it's like skipped forward when I flipped it. Which POV? Okay, weird. So I'll have to report that as a bug. For whatever reason, when I switched the POV, it like skipped to almost the end of the game for some reason.
Reporting.
Yeah, that must be a bug. It works. Looks like it works fine. Yeah, okay, there. That's much better. It says my cards the bottom. So we watched these first couple of turns already, and there's speed on the turns here.
Do we have a mission?
Interact with and click on the board through all this too. You can look at the discard piles. So this is turn 3. My hand here was actually incredibly good. So this is an artifact which hangs out over to the side and gives you an effect and basically says every 4 spells you play, you draw a card. And one of the things I really love about this tokens deck is the Triforge Alliance card here really highlights one of the ways in which Mythgard's resource system is very different from Magic, other than the fact that you turn cards into lands, is you'll note that this card costs me 0 actual resources to play, but it costs me 1 yellow, 1 green, and 1 orange threshold. So from a resource management perspective, this 3-color tokens deck is very, it feels rewarding and skill intensive for paying attention to those types of things in terms of how you sequence. So if I recall on... What I did here was I played this that lets me draw cards when we cast a spell, and then this Vengeful Heirloom power-up let me put this on here, and it gave this a point towards drawing a card, and then this is able to kill this with surviving, and then on turn 4, I was able to go Academy Recruits with Triforge Alliance, with Tempered Forgeling, and trigger this and make my board huge. I believe that's what pass shifted. Yeah, so we attack there. This happens. This hits them there. Yep. They killed my thing. And then I decided that since they spent a piece of spot removal here, I didn't want to play around the blue sweeper. So I played this out. I played the Academy Recruits out, which gave this enough energy to let me draw a card. And then I played the Triforge Alliance here, which at the end of the turn pumps everything up. And they emoted. And when they emoted, I was like, oh shit, my board's about to die. So then they thunderclap, which kills everything except for this, because it had a point of armor. And this was the point where, if I'm being honest, I was just like idly playing on the iPad here and there. I almost conceded when they clapped me here. I was like, there's no way we win this game from here. And we were able, the Media Autocam here drawing us cards when we play spells, and the Model of Duality letting us draw a card whenever we play a second minion each turn, drug me kicking and screaming through all of the removal. Yeah, I'm like this Forked Lightning killing through my stuff. Is fragile currently? It is not. This card Conviction has been super impressive in this tokens deck too. It gives something Slayer 3 and Overrun, so it does extra damage to a unit, and then your extra damage also tramples over to hit your opponent's face too. Very, very aggressive. And then the Mode of Duality here is another piece that lets us grind real nice. They cleared through a ton of my board here. This card's another thing that was really good at picking apart my smaller things. It makes a zigzag spell each turn, which deals 1 to something, and then if that thing dies, it deals 3 to the thing next to it. So this card specifically with the zigzag shots it generate is another card that really rewards you for paying attention to how you position your units on the enemy side so they're spread out so I don't lose 2 of them to 1 generation.
Do we have a mission?
And then Vengeful Heirloom's another card that's been really impressive in this token style deck. This lets me, it gives something 2/1, and it's a spell to trigger the Media Autocam, and then this also comes back to your hand whenever the thing you put it on dies, so it's like a recurring spell to let you continually generate extra energy to draw extra cards. I might, and this is actually one of the things that's fantastic, and I wish more card games had these review functions to be able to go back and watch your games. I actually messed up here talking about this zigzag spell, so this is going to generate next turn at sunrise when their turn starts, and they're going to get to kill both of these with that. So I actually should have taken these 2 units and positioned them on lanes 3 and 5 as opposed to lanes 3 and 4, because I basically gave them a free 2-for-1 that I didn't have to give them with her zigzag spell. Being able to go back and review and look through, oh, this was information that I had, I could have played around this differently. And then opponent's deck actually has a pretty sweet combo here. So they have Field of Poppies, which gives all the minions that threaten this space Fragile 1, so all of these become fragile. And then this says whatever minion they put in this spot doesn't take damage from fragile minions. So it basically means this thing never takes damage in combat, which is rough. Good combination of things. And then I was a professional and drew the Orbital Jamming Satellite here, which suppresses a minion, which is good for not only stopping us from generating spells that kill my things, but also getting rid of the enchantment bonus temporarily. My deck has a deck building thing here that says whenever you play one of these artifact power-up cards, you generate a Forgeling. So between these Forgelings being generated from this and our deck power being able to make a 1/1 for 3 resources, we're able to power the Model of Duality really consistently to draw more cards. Opponent making a little bit of an oops here, I think, and putting their Arctic Pyre next to their Maelstrom, forgetting that their Maelstrom was going to kill their own card here. They had a little emote letting me know that they realized they messed up. And I got to play my Forgelings out, which triggers a card draw. Then we've got a bunch of fat Dorkos here and there at 5. And they have Earthslide here to fill out a bunch of blockers, but Conviction's going to allow us to punch right on through because it gives Overrun. So this gives this Overrun and Slayer. We can power it up with Vengeful Heirloom as well, and it crunches in for a whole bunch over their 1/1. All right, let's play some actual games with some new games with this deck instead of watching one that I played yesterday. We got missions. Well, burning red and green cards. I'm not going to be playing red and green, so let's reroll that. Gain 25 player life in matches. I think we're going to do that with this deck either. Grab my free coins. Oh, by the way, the devs have a pretty good sense of humor. There's a Chili Saunders stream. It looks like a penguin wearing a mask, maybe with gloves and sitting. That's obviously Mr. Sanders. Are promoted the Mithril tier, chat. I get a reward for getting to Mithril tier. Yeah, that's another thing too. I actually posted a short tutorial video on YouTube showing how you can go through the ladder here. It's not just your own games that you can watch from your profile. You can go into here and, like, let's say you at home wanted to watch my games that I've played while I'm off stream. You could pull up my player profile by clicking into the Mithril League here, and you can watch matches that anybody has played, which is fantastic. All right, so we go first here. I think we probably just cantrip the Clay Effigy here. Want to play a yellow card on one, so want to burn a yellow card. This deck that I'm playing right now is definitely the most complicated in terms of sequencing the cards that you burn because you're trying to manage 3 different colors worth of cards. I don't currently have a good 2-mana card to play, so we might just be putting Vengeful Heirloom on this, making it a 2/2. Burn the Dark Passenger if we don't draw something else that's better. Is Protocol important for this deck? No, it's not. If you don't have a copy of this, it's not a big deal to budget. One of the things from a deck building perspective that I really like about Mythgard is you'll notice all of my cards have dots in the corner of them. The dots not only indicate the rarity of that card, but the rarity dictates how many copies of that card you can play in your deck. So, for example, the Grigori Protocol here that someone just asked about, these are, the mythic cards are more expensive to obtain, but you could budget this and it's just literally 1 copy of a card in this deck. It's not key to the functionality. The core function of most decks, in fact, tends to be commons and uncommons because those are the ones you can play the most copies of in your deck. All right, so speaking of, I think we're just going to burn this. One thing you do want to make sure if you budget copies of cards is you want to make sure you generally replace them with cards that are the same color because the ratios of what colors of cards you have in your deck tends to be important. Because you want to be able to play there's not resource variance in terms of the number of resources you draw, but if you're playing more colors than one, the ratio of which colors you draw can be important. We actually have an absurdly good hand here. Similar to that replay we just watched, I'm actually going to get to go Academy Recruits into Triforge Allegiance next turn, which is super strong. So this can attack here, this can attack here, this can attack here, and then we'll play this over here. And then now you'll note that even though this is free, it costs me a green to play. So I have to burn Academy Recruits because I don't currently have another green that's unspent because I used 1 to play that. So we'll do this. We'll play the Triforge Allegiance, which at the end of turn, all my things will get +1/+1 bigger. I'm not going to take this attack here because I have to attack this unit. And you can see this attack right now would only deal 1 to that, but it would kill my unit. Whereas if I end the turn, my things all get bigger and now this will trade with whatever it attacks. The yellow color has Misanthropia as a sweeper, so they could sweep me on their 5th turn, but I'm going to get at least 1 attack in with my full board here, which is great. I do not have a direct referral code for this one, no. Just give it a try on your app store or on Steam. They know that I bring people in. The free core set giveaway is a great chance to try it out. Mythgard's got a great core game system. I think if a lot of people give it a chance, they'll find they enjoy it a lot. Mythgard is single player turn based, so similar to Hearthstone, you don't take actions on your opponent's turn. I actually find that therapeutic in ways coming from other games like Magic and Runeterra, where games of Magic can often feel a little bit stressful when you're like, oh god, is my card going to resolve? Is my trick going to work? And while it is rewarding to play games with those priority systems on occasion, there's also something nice about knowing, okay, I'm gonna work out my strategy, and I know I'm actually gonna get to execute it. So while I like what Magic's and like Runeterra have in a priority system, sometimes I also like that this is different in a way where you get the way it plays out makes you feel is different, in my opinion.
Feeling unwell?
So this deals 1 to everything. Seem very good. Okay, so I think there's a good chance my opponent sweeps my board next turn. So I have to decide what's the best way to play around that. So this is definitely killing this. And then I'm putting a Vengeful Heirloom on one of these. And now I have to decide Do I want to burn? Oh, they're conceding. They must not be playing Misanthropy if they're conceding. I was gonna say I have to decide, do I want to burn my orange unit to play my second orange spell, or do I want to hold that orange unit so if they sweep me, I can build back up after they sweep? Does deck use Beacon Banner? I don't think so. I don't think that's a card. Let's pull up the deck list here. That name, I'm not 100% familiar with. I know what the cards do. I don't know all of their names. Orange artifact. No, it doesn't look like it. This deck's actually quite low on artifacts, all things considered. I think we're only on 9. Yeah, the deck overview here looks like we have nine artifacts. Which I think is fine. You can see here I'm actually waiting in the queue to find an opponent here, and you could do other things in client while you're waiting for your match to pop. Usually I find a match in less than a minute. Sometimes it takes 2. I guess I'm a higher rank than I was previously, so maybe there's slightly less people at the higher rank. I'm one under their highest rank now. I love the art IP in this game. There's so many good pieces of artwork. Good range of styles on the art too. Like this style of art, like this even, just like there's some real creepy pieces too. And it tells me when my match is ready. So, one thing you'll note that's different this game as opposed to the last game is I started with this Molten Forgeling in my hand. When you build your deck, you pick this path that I mentioned makes me things when I play artifacts, but your path also dictates not only your starting life, but also a bonus that you get, this pursuit bonus when you're on the draw. So unlike games like Hearthstone that give you this static effect when you're on the draw, Mythgard lets you make a conscious deck building decision of what kind of bonus you get based on your path, which I really love. I could have been right to just Molten Forgeling here on one, actually, instead of playing the Clay Effigy. Clay Effigy cycling through my deck, letting me know what's coming up sooner has some value. I want to play War Documentarian this turn, so I think I'm burning Circle of Protection. I don't know what's up with my O1. Okay, so I think I burn Dark Passenger here, and then we'll Vengeful Heirloom this, which lets me eat this, which is nice, and then I can drop this here. So this lets me put an artifact on top of my deck here, and the Spellflux Cauldron is actually pretty sweet. This is an artifact that says when you cast a spell, give all your minions 1 extra attack for a turn. Just quite powerful with our plethora of minions. They gave us the clap, chat. We're gonna burn Protocol here, I think, and then deploy Academy Recruits. Does the opponent see what you burn for mana? They do. In fact, if I look here on the deck tracker and change to my opponent's deck, I can look and see which cards they've burned back off into their deck. That's super unfortunate. Gross. Okay, so we're gonna need to start grinding a little bit here. Forked Lightning creates another copy of itself that's gonna be able to kill a bunch of my stuff, so I guess we're burning this. Then we've got, this is why we've got some copies of this. This draws us 3 for 5. I think is what I want to do here. Cards like this that draw in conjunction with our artifacts generating us forgelings. This is how we grind a little bit. Mythgard is the most feature complete digital card game that exists today. And this game and client was created by a team of single digits worth of people. It's really, really impressive. I think I'm going to drop Documentarian over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my champion power to put a Dorko here. And then I need to decide what I'm burning this turn. This is a card I've already burned, so I can't burn it again, which is unfortunate. I think it's just a Vengeful Heirloom. Hey, Midgeworth, thanks for the raid. We had a good stream this afternoon. So the War Documentarian here says, whenever a friendly minion dies in combat, she gets an energy, and she starts at 2, and then says at the start of the turn, if she has 3 energy, she creates state reparations in your hand, which lets us rebuy something out of the bin. So if they kill this, for example, which they did, I'm going to get to rebuy one of these things at the start of my turn. Okay, so this card's actually hyper annoying. When it hits us, is basically a Thief of Sanity that creates a copy of what it's taking. I think I need to just trade these here with the Dark Passenger.
My final test.
So I found the Triforge Allegiance. So I think what I need to get set up at this point is I need to get Ollama Ring plus this plus army recruits all in a single turn. I'm gonna burn this heirloom. I think I'm just playing this out. I'm gonna take 10 or 6, 8 over here. Their colors don't usually have rush, so I think this is living. Oh, I could just play the Forgeling here. Yeah, let's do that. Putting a green card on top that I can burn next turn sounds good. No, I don't want to play Triforge this turn because I don't want to play Triforge this turn because I want to be able to get the bonus from it when I play it out. I want to have as many things in play when I do as possible. And Forked Lightning does 1 and 2. So this, the Triforge plus the Ollama Ring is gonna let me survive their stuff next turn, or survive the Forked Lightning next turn. So I get to go ahead and burn. I get to go ahead and burn this green card. And then I can say, okay, army recruits here, army recruits here, Triforge Allegiance, which is going to make them all bigger at end of turn and for the next couple of turns. And then they're going to get to crunch through some of these, but I'm going to get to state reparations and pick one of these spells back up again next turn. Do I Vengeful Heirloom is a question. I guess I don't really need to, right? I guess I could Vengeful Heirloom here, so that way if they attack diagonal instead of into the focus to get this through these trade. Yeah, that's the play, I think. Because now if this attacks here, this is focused, so these will trade. And if this attacks here, it wouldn't be focused, but it's got the bonus from this, so these will trade. If they hit a Thunderclap or a Magnus, I'm going to be in trouble. Blight here is annoying, not the end of the world, because it's going to mean that this is going to die here as well. They're going to get to draw another card with it, but it is what it is. Think we're behind at this point, but we're definitely not just out of it. I'd really like to draw something that draws us more cards at this point. It could be right to use the reparations to pick back up Ximec here, but picking up the recruits while I have the Triforge Alliance going also has value in it. So these are all blighted, so they're all going to die here. Honestly, this matchup seems atrocious for us. Our opponent has Thunderclaps, they have Forked Lightnings, they have Misanthropia. It's just like every possible global sweeper their archetype can be playing, they're playing. Huh. I drew Academy Recruits. Do I just double recruits again? Probably, right? I can Academy here, I can State, I can Academy here. And then this is gonna trigger. I think it was the plan last turn, right? It's probably just the plan again.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
I've got one more turn with my Triforge. I don't think I want to burn this to get a champ power this turn. I think this has valuable utility attached to it. It could have been right to pick up the Revelation there, instead of making 3 more to try and gas back up. I don't know, there's value in the Triforge Alliance getting going, though. So they'll make this fragile, and then they'll probably Forked Lightning here and kill some of these. They're making that fragile so these can trade? Sure. Oh, they're making that fragile so they can Forked Lightning here and have this hit me again. I would imagine is about to be the play. This is guaranteed to die next turn because it's Blight 3. So they're trading it off here. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so
And that's my last song for the night.
this is just gonna get another snake next turn, right? So there's really no reason to attack it. This makes a snake every turn. That's our last Triforge trigger. They can Forked Lightning to kill this. And this snake doesn't quite kill anything yet. They're at 31 still, which is a lot. They're down to 2 cards. It's just like the amount of grind that our deck has produced here, right? Like, our opponent, like, swept our board so many times this game, and, like, we're still here playing a game. Like, holy crap, like, that's incredible, right? So, like, I get to kill this, and Then I get to go smack you, smack you. We'll put this here. And then honestly, I think we just protocol the Harvester, right? They'll get to cantrip off it. I guess cantripping them towards their second Misanthropia probably isn't good for us. Yeah, screw it. They hit it, they hit it. All right, well, they don't have Misanthropia. They're playing a bunch of stuff out here. And they overrode a bunch of enchantments, so I assume...
Copy. We're over the target now.
Okay. So... it's a 210. I wanna kill this, right? Let's start here and see what we get. Actually, I probably want to play this in the middle, where something's about to die, right? I think I probably want to go... I guess I'm not gonna have anything die. We go 5 this, 4 this. Oh, this has to... okay, I can do this, and then do this, and then hit your face. And then do I actually don't want to play this, right? I'd rather do this, because it's a free resource. Or it's a resource that I have recurring access to. Then my Triforge triggers here. Like, this game alone, it's just like, it's so absurd, right? How much this deck was able to grind through here. Like, how many sweepers they did that we were just able to just, like, chunk and chunk and chunk and chunk and chunk. Are they dead? I think that's lethal, right? Sure is. Man, that was sick. that was absurd. Just the amount of grind that we had there is just like super impressive. Do I have deck codes? Yeah, it's available on the deck editor or on the on-screen overlay. I also tweeted it last night with a link to the deck on Mythgard Hub. The core of this deck came out of someone posted it in the Mythgard Discord server. I think I'm like 8 or 9 cards off of where they started. I basically they had a bunch of cute one-ofs in their deck, and I cut a bunch of the cute one-ofs and I pulled the curve down. They had like some cute splits between some of the cards. All right, what was the change I made? I moved from Yana Virus to Corrode Equipment because more cheap spells is good. I went up copies of Conviction. Honestly, I went up copies of Vengeful Heirloom as well. I could see these dark passengers. I think it's possible the second Dark Passenger is probably worse than Conviction, just because Conviction lets you push damage. That's a change I've been debating making. So we do. I think that's probably it. It's fewer. It's like 6 cards. The core of this came out of the Discord server, though. Vengeful is really good. And, like, not only that, but, like, this deck plays Spellflux Cauldron, too. And, like, the turns where you, like, Vengeful Heirloom something, trade it, get it back, Vengeful Heirloom again, you often kill them on those turns. So this is, what was the card, the original card that someone was playing, was, like, give something -2 attack and an extra action. Yeah, they were playing, Mandatory Vigor, which cantrips, but, like, double orange is tough. The doper is, there's actually a, there's a couple of variations of yellow aggro based around the doper. He's a very, very good card. Very strong card. He's just jet. Yeah, doper with the old grit instructor. I like this too when you play some number. Can someone in chat that knows what triggers the high five? I know it's when you play some number of games. What is the specific trigger for this? Where it gives you this win 5 matches, get 1,200 coins thing. I have no idea. Great, 1 second here.
Reporting.
So, this seems kind of trivial to say at a glance, but when you're on the draw and you have Eager Recruit and Forgeling, it's important to prioritize saving your Forgelings to fill your curve down the line, because these notably don't have a threshold requirement. And it's not only is it important to make sure you use all of your resources every turn in a deck like this, but you want to be pressuring on the board while you do too. And this is kind of like a fill your curve for freestyle card that doesn't have that extra requirement in terms of the resources it demands. Do I want this copy of Conviction? Probably not. I think I'd rather have more threats. I also have to decide, do I think I'm going to be the beatdown here or not? Probably not. Also, if I play this somewhere, they're just going to play their 1/1 out to block it, so I think I just play this to trade here. And then, if they deploy their 1/1 next turn, we'll play the Forgeling to block it. Like, to curve out nicely here, our turn 1 is this, our turn 2 will probably be like this plus this, or this plus this, and then our turn 3 drops the Academy Recruits to go wide. Opponent playing green and orange here, it looks like, which is good for us. These regions don't have sweepers other than Angel at the top end at 7.
Reporting.
I can choose to put an artifact on top of my deck. Is this Media Autocam going to be useful this game? Yeah, probably. It makes me another Dorko too. Media Autocam lets me draw cards when we play spells, which is nice.
Press your luck.
So this card's kind of annoying. It activates, and then they choose one of my units in secret, and then that unit gets, before attacking, lose 2 attack and gain fragile 2. So if I go and attack here and they picked this, my guy will just die. So I think what I'm going to do here is actually slide this to the left and then use the Grigori Protocol here as a burn and play the Academy Recruits.
Reporting for duty.
But I also think I don't really want to attack into here, because they also could have tried to level me and picked this to get that penalty.
Do you seek wisdom?
Can you see what sets cards are from on the card? Yeah, there's technically a very faint, there's a faint watermark here in the background. I can't tell you which ones are which. You can also look in the, what's it called to see it too? Ooh, that's a War Documentarian. Okay, so, So this gives my thing armor 2 and warded, and then I have to decide which mind game did they pick, this one or this one. I think I'm actually gonna burn the Media Autocam here and then go Documentarian plus Circle of Protection this turn. Focus kills it even with negative attack. Oh, that's interesting. My War Documentarian triggers. And then this means they must have picked this one, so we're not going to attack with this. So, assuming this lives, they don't have a what's it called? Like a lead astray. Wait, pick something back up here.
Reporting. Do we have a mission?
Okay, so these get free eats on these because I have 1 turn left on my armor 2. And then I have to decide what else do we want to do this turn. I think we want to do this here. And then do I want to hold on to the Vengeful Heirloom or the Dark Passenger? I guess I could wait a turn to make that decision. I could play this recruit here, attack them for 1, and then just not burn anything this turn. I think that's fine. Just hang tight before I decide what I want to burn off. And them killing through my things over here is going to charge her energy back up towards some more reparations.
Covering fire.
The Dark Passenger, sweet. Okay, so this has armor 1. They need to attack it with something that's at least 2. So let's burn a Dark Passenger. Then let's put a Dark Passenger on here so we can kill this. Vengeful Heirloom. This trade here means that I'm going to get state reparations next turn, which is nice. I'm out of orange resources. I think I just activate this. What's the bottom of my thing that I'm exiling here? Yeah, I'm fine getting rid of an eager recruit. I don't want to attack this in, so this will hit the 4/4. Down to 11. Now, the opponent is playing orange, which means on turn 7, they could drop Armageddon Angel, is the sweeper that their colors have access to. So next turn, I could have a sweeper to contend with. That's something I'm going to want to think about when I try to make my sequencing decisions here. Honestly, next turn might just be like reparations, pick up Dark Passenger, Passenger trade into here, draw another card. We're actually gonna have like a really good turn next turn, right? So we'll reparations, pick up Dark Passenger, Passenger here, burn an heirloom, play an heirloom here, trade here. And then we're going to be like ready to get more reparations here.
My final test.
Broken again. What do I want? Second heirloom or do I want an extra threat? I don't really need an extra threat, right? Because I have this to pick stuff back up with. I think I'd rather have more heirlooms. This has focus, so it gets one more attack when attacking the thing directly in front of it. So these trade. And these trade. And then I hit you. And I hit you. And do I reparations and pick something back up here again right away? Because I have the resource and the extra threshold. I might not later. Yeah, I think I just do this now and pick the Academy Recruitment up. Yeah, I think we're waiting on green and red for core set codes still. Hopefully those happen soon. I feel like they've been taking their sweet time. Is this lethal? So when you play a spell, we get one extra. So this is 1. And this is 3, 6, 7. Am I 1 short? I think I'm 1 short. I can kill this, though, actually, with this, right? So I could go play this. And I could go, so this is... Oh, this is immobile, so I can't kill this. If they have a pump spell, they could actually kill me down here because of how aggressive I was in other places. Feels bad, man. It was a close game. Perhaps the Dark Passenger I used earlier was too aggressive. Perhaps I should have burned the second heirloom instead of my second Dark Passenger, playing around a bomb like this.
Do we have a mission?
Okay, I think we just hope to not die this turn. We're at 11. This is overwhelming for 8. 9 with the infuse. This is just a board cosmetic. You're right that it's a little bit weird that there's something in the middle of it there as opposed to being uniform. Okay, down to 3. These colors don't usually have rush.
Do you seek wisdom?
They need to put some more blockers down here.
Reporting. Do we have a mission?
Man, so... And this is, again, these are the little things where as I play more Mythgard, I'm picking them up. I lost this game because of how I spread my units out here. So if I would have put these next to each other, I would have been able to kill through blockers and kill them this turn. So like if I would have put all 3 of these right next to each other, and then they would have put their 3 things next to each other, I would have been able to go kill this, attack for lethal with this. I might draw Conviction from Autocam if I'm lucky. Yes, if I draw, I could spike something with this. You are correct. I can go state reparations, pick something up. Okay, yep, and then I missed, so good game to the opponent. I definitely win that if I position my units better here. The positional elements and stuff like that is like, well, and that's where it's one of those things where like, well, at a base level, when you're being aggressive, you should spread your things out so they're harder to block. But my things were close enough together anyways that I should play around them having multiple units to block everything for sure.
Reporting.
Okay, so if I want to avoid Sunken Acolyte leveling up next turn, I need to burn this. Put these over here.
Do we have a mission?
Okay, so I think I slide this to the right. And then the question is, would I rather have more army recruitments or do I want to get Media Autocam going next turn? I think there's probably value in getting Autocam going next turn. It generates me an artifact blocker as well. So I think I burn this and drop Academy Recruits here. Because my next turn, there's a good chance we go like Autocam, Clay, plus Vengeful Heirloom. Burning the Revelation. Yep, this goes up to 4/4, and then these can trade off here, which is fine. But Vengeful Heirloom's gonna let me trade into here and get rid of this, which seems great for me. Okay, so would I rather burn this or this? I think the way this game is setting up, I'd actually like to prefer having this potentially, because if I draw another yellow card, drawing 3 cards sounds really appealing. I guess if I play this, it gives me a good chance to find a yellow artifact to burn next turn. Oh, I've already burned it. Do I want ring anyways? I think I just say okay and take a... I guess this is pretty good. This is going to generate me another minion. I guess I can't do this and Clay Effigy next turn because I didn't burn... because I need 3 yellow to do that. I think I'm just going to take a random. I'm going to take a random. That might be wrong. I might be right to prioritize getting another Forgeling here.
Wanna burn?
It's terrible. But if I just burn this and draw 4 cards this turn, I think I'm kind of into it.
Lie still.
I think I want to burn the protocol here. I think I burn protocol, and then I go Autocam into these over here, into Documentarian over here. And they need a way to deal with this. Because if they kill through these, this'll threaten to generate reparations next turn.
Flame, take you.
Okay, well they didn't kill those in combat, so no reparations are owed. Well, now we just duality into recruits, draw a card, right? And honestly, I might just burn a Forgeling here.
Reporting for duty.
So this draws me a card from this, and it gives me enough energy for this. We've got enough card advantage going here that the question this game is definitely going to be, can we stop them from killing us, which might be a problem. Okay, they killed that, which means we're not going to get to generate reparations. I am going to get to kill this with the Blighted at least. So this can kill here, and then I could put these two over here, which I think is probably what I want to do. Okay, and then with this draw, I think I burn this. And then play Spellflux Cauldron here, which not only generates me that, but lets me corrode this and then give these extra attack. So now if this wants to trade in, they have to trade. One more spell will draw us a card here. And we have Forgeling plus this over here as well.
Wanna burn?
That's pretty good. It's going to let them kill this, and then hit me for 6. My life. Oh, wow. Okay, so you correct me for 10 here, which is a lot of damage. Like I said, we could just die. We've got the card advantage on lock, but the best card advantage is killing your opponent while they still have cards in their hand, huh? Down to 9. This is agile as well, right? This. What if I do this here? An artifact to put on top. I don't really want an Ollama Ring, I don't think. And then I can put this here. And then I can burn. That's a great draw for next turn. I can burn Conviction. And then drop Circle of Protection. Which gives everything warded and armor too. Lets me draw a card with this. So we're going to take 4 here. We are dead to the 4/4 Rush Minion because they could burn a card plus infuse it. Yep, they killed one of my artifacts. None of their other things have good attacks into my board here. Okay, we're really low here, and I don't have a way to gain life back, so we're not in an amazing spot, but we're not dead yet. Okay, and these are still warded. They killed my thing that gives me extra attack when I attack with things. So I guess I need to Ollama Ring so this can kill here. Yes, yeah, I'm aware Rioter doesn't damage when attacks. I appreciate the reminder, though, because that is the type of thing that I am known to forget.
Reporting for duty.
Well, now we just kill this, right?
Reporting.
Have I burned something yet this turn? I haven't. Do I burn something to drop a unit down over here as well? Is it crazy to burn this Forgeling to play a unit here, just to have all my bases covered? I feel like it's not, especially with the Spellflux Cauldron next turn. Next turn I get to go like Cauldron, Heirloom.
Do we have a mission?
I'm about to get deal 2. God damn it! We were so close! We were so close! He draws. Man, is that their third copy of Ignition too? I think we were gonna kill them next turn with the Cauldron, right? They were at 30, they were at 33. We get to kill this in the middle. The Cauldron would have done +2 to everything, plus the 2 Vengeful Pharaohs was 4. So we would have done 8, 15, 19, 33. What is Oberist, Tufak? You said that word earlier today, and I don't know what that word means. Is that a Mythgard related thing? Is that a card that I don't know the name of? What's up, oldest son? You want to play Terraria? Okay, does Declan want to play? Okay, if Declan's taking a break, he doesn't have to play with you, buddy. You can play on your own. Do you want to set up a single-player world? Okay. You can look for items on your own.
Yeah, it might be. Oh.
Okay, we'll clean up your inventory. Here you go. Have fun. Oh, I don't have a code. I can tell you that. If I had a code and I wasn't allowed to tell you, I would beat around the bush about it, but I'll just tell you point blank that they did not give me a code to give away. I actually don't know how the inventory of that game works. Ask Declan to help you with the inventory. He knows how, okay? So if you're stuck, ask Declan to help you, okay? He doesn't have to play with you, but he can help you figure out the inventory.
Need a wrench.
Okay, so definitely burning the Dark Passenger here. This was a great draw. We get to go ahead and play this out and then drop this one as well. We don't have another orange, so we can't play this. The question is, do I want to play this over here by this? I think I do, especially with the Vengeful Heirloom in hand. Flip a yellow thing up on top of the deck to burn. This has armor 1, so I don't have to worry about this eating it, so we can play it next to it, which is nice. It's a little unfortunate. So I'm definitely Vengeful Heirlooming here and trading. The question is, do I want to burn an heirloom to play another recruit out? I think the answer is yes. And do I want to block this to prevent them from smashing into my artifacts? Probably.
Do we have a mission?
Next turn we'll be able to burn Ring, play Cauldron, play Heirloom to get this up to 4 attacks, so we can kill something pretty large that they put here, which is nice.
Let's do this.
Yeah, perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat. Draw a card with this. Good to see that. Media Autocam, go to work with the Heirloom here. Next turn, probably burn the Protocol, play Autocam, play Forgeling, play Heirloom on the Forgeling. Depending on what we draw, what they do.
Is that all you've got?
So that's a 6/5. Honestly, this play kind of makes me want to change my... So, this card's really good, but I kind of want to get more draw going. There's a tab hiding the quarter left of the screen. Is that normally? That's the deck overlay. If you look, you can minimize it, Silver Oak. That's in your control as the viewer at home. I think I want to burn this. I can use the Protocol to kill this, which seems good. I can play this. Then we can go ahead and Protocol here, which makes this die, but they draw a card next turn, and then I can drop the Eager Recruit here.
Reporting.
So we're running a little bit low on resources, but these Media Autocams with the Heirloom should let us gas back up a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping in today. So this can get up to 5 attack next turn with the Vengeful Heirloom, but that information is heads up, so if the opponent can't play around that, I assume they won't play into it.
The storm breaks you.
Turn 3 Valkyrie cards from your Boneyard to your hand. Wow, that's... Well, that is Alpha Strike, and Alpha Strike works on defense in this game similar to First Strike in Magic, so it's a little rough. I guess we want to just spread out here a little bit, so we'll go this here,
Have a mission.
this here, see what artifact we can pop up on top. No artifacts, that's fine. We'll Vengeful Heirloom here. Makes all these bigger and lets us draw a card. It's pretty good in terms of being able to grind a little bit. We do have to worry about not dying to this. The fact that I used my, well, I don't really have a good way to deal with this giant Alpha Strike thing. Probably just have to, like, try and kill them around it. We are at 28, which is nice. Fairly healthy, all things considered. That's true. I do have 2 copies of what's it called? We've got corrode equipment in here. That gets it over a few turns. Oh, I guess I have orbital jamming satellite is another way to suppress it and then kill it in combat. So we got some tools. We've got a draw 3 here, which likely turns into a draw 4 with spells being played. It's 3 attack each time it takes damage, sure. Another Vengeful Heirloom. Starting here. See what I get. Huh. What if I burn this? This is Fragile 1, so it's taking 1 extra damage from attacks. This is going to take 5, and then I could take 5 from here. What if I just drop Documentarian over here, trade these off inside of combat, and then we set ourselves up to get a state reparations next turn? I think I'm into that. When this trades off, we're going to pick a Vengeful Heirloom back up as well. And then, this is on target to draw us another card next turn. Depending on what we do exactly.
All right ahead.
We're going to take 6 here. Our artifact takes some damage. That's a really good draw. I could protocol this, right? With the reparations? That's got to be the line, right? Mythgard's been really good. Their latest couple of expansions have been stellar. So I only have 3 green this turn. So I can't... I guess I could draw a green card to burn. So let's start with state reparations for Grigori Protocol, which gives me a 4th for this.
Reporting for duty.
So we'll do this. We'll do this here. So this is going to die next turn. And then do I want to... I can draw a card. We could draw a green card. Damn, if we drew a green card to burn, I could have Triforge Alliance here as well, which would have been incredible. I think we just take this trade here. And the question is, do I want to burn something this turn? I think the answer to that question is no. I'm pretty sure. So they get to draw an extra card, but then that dies. I guess something I have to worry about here is they're probably playing Clap and, Magnus, which could clear through my board, which makes this trade extra good, just getting that cleared out.
Is that all you've got?
Kara's a little scary because she gets bigger every time I play a unit, and my deck puts a lot of units into play. Might have been right to burn off a Vengeful Heirloom last turn. I probably don't need 3 of them. There's a chance I could want 9 resources next turn. You can only burn 1 card per turn. This is really good. It lets this kill this. Hey, Lord Gnome Plays, thanks for the Prime. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now that you can send that to. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Okay, so I need to get to more units than them in order to make this work. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to end up regretting not having burned a card last turn. So I can do this. And then I can Venomfang here.
What happened to me?
And then I can play this here. Oh, and then I can't do this now, though. Crap. Yeah, if I had 1 more resource here, I could burn this and do both of these, and then kill this as well. I guess we just do this and get this going. But I'm in a little bit worse spot than I'd otherwise be. If I could play this Vengeful Heirloom here, I could put this here and trade into here, right? No, I'd be 1 short actually, so maybe it doesn't matter. I guess I trade... Oh, I can't trade this down because it's a lurker. Okay, let's just end turn. All these get bigger. What's the difference between flat and floating units? That's a good question. I see someone in chat answered, but again, they answered correctly. So floating units still have an action available to them. Ooh, they hit me and killed my Media Autocam. That's pretty good. Although that made this smaller, so these Vengeful Heirlooms along with this and my my Spellflux Cauldron probably mean that this Forgeling can kill this Morning Wives next turn, which is kind of sweet. Car has 2 armor. That really doesn't matter. These are each gonna give 3 attack because I have the Spellflux Cauldron. It's gonna be flipping huge. This will be 10, which kills it through 2 armor.
See you in Valhalla.
So I'll just want to make sure I trade that off before I deploy a unit and make her bigger. This gets bigger every time one of your other Valkyrie minions dies. I'm at 13. I do need to make sure I don't die by mistake here. Another Spellflux Cauldron. Let's start with Vengeful Heirloom here. And then draw a card. Academy Recruits. So if I Vengeful Heirloom here, this is going to go up to 9, which is not enough to kill this. This says armor 2. So I need to Spellflux Cauldron first. Right? And now this will give this up to 10. So now this can kill this. And now I get those back. And then this can kill here. This can kill here. And then I can burn a card and play Academy Recruits and still trigger my Triforce at end of turn.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
This deck is such gasoline. Like, this deck is really good. Like, just its ability to grind and also, like, randomly have aggressive draws that kill the opponent. We could die if they're playing something like Cataclysm. Horn gives them an extra action. Horn's actually lethal here, right? Oh, they're moving over. Well, that's not good against my... Listen, my family heirlooms do not care about what you are doing. Are they dead? There's a chance they're dead, right? If I... Alright, so this is 8 with 2 toughness, or 2 armor. Double heirloom here gets this to each of these is +4, so that puts this to 11. Yeah, heirloom plus Autocam and heirloom plus Spellflux Cauldron is honestly very good too. I do this here. I do this here. Let's draw a card with this and see what we get. Clay Effigy. Let's do this over here and see what we get. We go ahead and we hit this here to trade these. I get my orange things back. And then we Vengeful Heirloom here. We play this. I don't know if this is lethal. It's pretty close. I think it's lethal, actually. Did we just 26 them? Holy shit. Well, I have a feeling the deck that I'm playing right now is going to be popular. I think there's a good chance that this deck's gonna become popular. Popular. Do 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 do. Mythic purple wild card. That's sick. I came for the CCG content. I stay for the musical theater references. God bless. Believe it or not, chat, I was a theater kid growing up. I'm sure that will come as a surprise to many of you. You basically always burn Dark Passenger if you have it on 1, because it's a double orange card, which means you're not going to play it till late anyways.
Reporting.
Let's feed.
So we'll burn Protocol here. We'll play the Documentarian. We'll trade these. We'll get her ready to pop off next turn. Yeah, I think there's, while theater and card games don't have any very direct overlaps, theater and Dungeons and Dragons has a lot of overlap in it. Is my experience. And Dungeons and Dragons and Magic have a lot of overlap, so there's kind of gotta go down the line to get there, but it makes sense when you think about it. Honestly, it might be right to take her and run down over to the left here and get away from whatever they're gonna deploy here on the Bename Falls. The Falls here is indicative of they're likely more mid-rangey or controlling. Yeah, maybe it could be possible to just ignore this and put one of these over here to keep her alive. I could see that. I don't know. It's so tough to get, in the early game especially, it's tough to get a second reparations out of her, so usually I just give them up. Alright, so I think I'm fine trading these here because it lets me pick my heirloom back up. And then we just, like, drop this here, hit you for 1. It could be wrong. So they are red and they're more controlling. Even the aggro decks tend to play it too, though. But oh no!
Let's feed.
Okay, so this doesn't infect until end of turn. So everybody move away. The Documentarian's been infected, chat. I mean, our hand's actually, like, really bad, huh? It doesn't really do anything? Mask up and social distance, game board pieces. Please, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm like, play this.
We have a mission.
Play this over. Honestly, this is demise. I get it back, right? I'm gonna put this on here to try and make this survive longer. Might as well. I'm not doing anything else with it. Maybe she survives to last another reparations here. Okay, so I can go Orbital Jamming Satellite. Does suppressing this kill it? Oh, it does kill it. Okay, so here's a thought. Do I want to attack this into here so that way she gets more reparations next turn? Because the reparations are worth more than my 1/1, right? I'm pretty sure that's the play. Do I want a Spellflux Cauldron? I do. Cauldron with these heirlooms sounds great. Did I forget to attack with this? I might have forgotten to attack with this. I don't remember now.
Do I make you sick?
You do in fact make my thing sick. It's very rude. Okay, so this is a 6. So we Cauldron. If I put this on here, this goes to 4. By reparations, it goes to 5. Am I 1 short? I think I'm 1 short, huh? It's unfortunate. Oh, I missed a point of damage. I'm a big dumb. Missed 2 points of damage. I'm gonna hit this down here because I want to put extra damage on it so that way if I suppress it next turn it dies, hopefully. They can heal it too, though, with this. This card's pretty good. Okay, so just to make sure my understanding is correct here, because this health total is red, that means suppressing it doesn't kill it. Yeah, it gets rid of 4. Okay. Look at that. Look at me. Look at me understanding how the game works. I'm such a big brain player, chat. Having basic understandings of the concepts of the game I'm playing. Okay, so let's do that. You're gonna get to draw a card next turn, but that's fine. Let's burn you. Let's drop you. Let's Vengeful Heirloom you. Let's crack you for 6. Engage the protocol.
Dirty.
And then honestly, the state might reparate the War Documentarian back to our hand here next turn. It's probably the play. If we lose this game by 2 points of life, it's because I missed 2 points of damage, we know. Am I able to play from 2 piles? I don't know what you mean by 2 piles. And now this is purple, so because this is purple, suppressing it kills it. Look at us, chat. Look at us. Artifact to put on top of my deck. Yeah, Autocam sounds great. Oh yeah, the thing on the right is the discard pile. That's exactly what that is. Yeah, these are cards that have been played. And I just keep referencing this because this card picks up things from the discard pile, and this comes back from the discard pile. So I can see how if you haven't played this before, it looks confusing with how my deck works. All right. Ever thought about designing my own card game? That sounds like a lot of work, and it doesn't sound like it would be very profitable. So, no, not really. I think there's a ton of great card games that already exist, and I don't really have an interest in making my own. I don't know. Something not even actually think. I think just objectively that talking about, so they're dead, right? Talking about card games and being able to understand how the pieces fit, understanding game design is a different skill set than actually creating your own game. Yeah, so the conviction here just about to destroy them. So we do this, hit them to -7. And then we go ahead and reparations, the conviction back to our hand. God, this deck is so good, it's disgusting. It's like, don't mind me, just be over here killing you. Thank you for the 20 minutes, retread it. That is a lot of moving pieces, Lord. I don't know. I think me personally, I derive more joy from doing analytical style thinking rather than necessarily like creating something from scratch. You know, as much as I love you, War Documentarian, I think we're burning you and playing a Media Autocam here. I don't think Mythgard has an API, Pelly. I was watching a stream the other night. I think I heard someone say they wish they had one. So I don't think so. For all the advanced tech stuff that they have, I'm actually a little surprised that's something that they don't do. Okay, so I'm gonna burn the ring here. And then I have to decide, what do I want to do about this? It's probably, is it too crazy aggressive to corrode this? I feel like it's not. Choose an artifact to put on top of the deck. I think I'm in for an Ollama Ring. We need to burn another yellow at some point anyways. Clay Effigy to start here. Draw another card. Huh? I don't think it's too aggressive to Vengeful Heirloom this turn. I feel like it's not. I really want to use my resources for the turn. Red or orange or purple mid-range deck. I've played a bunch of blue-purple Fragile on stream, which is one of the 3 decks I intend to play in Mythgard's first open tournament. So blue purple fragile. There's a couple of videos up on my YouTube channel with it. I like that. I like that deck a lot. I've also played some mono red and some red green mid range in recent videos. I think both of those decks are reasonable. I think the red green's probably a little bit better than the mono red, but the mono red is serviceable. And again, this is one of them positioning things that I need to get better about. They blasted off my thing, so I wasn't thinking about Forked Lightning. So had I positioned better, thinking about the cards that are in the format, I'd still have a unit in play here. It should be a big deal. But I didn't, so I don't. I have a Model of Duality. That's supposed to be my trick opponent. Another Media Autocam. I think I'm in for that. I definitely would like kind of like a other green to burn anyways, right? Okay, chat. Now this is bait. This time I'm putting them close together on purpose, so if they Forked Lightning, they don't have Forked Lightning for my recruits. Last time I messed it up. This time I'm doing it on purpose. This card's very good. Okay, an assembly line. It's possible this card should be in this deck. I think this is a card someone asked about earlier. It's very possible I should be playing that. It's kind of expensive in terms of the effect that it does. Okay, so what if I go Media Autocam, and then we go Vengeful Heirloom, Conviction, smash you for a bunch. I get to draw a card here first. Let's draw a card. It's a War Documentarian. Oh, they killed it with Suppressed, which gets rid of my heirloom. That's super unfortunate for us. Rough. Alright, so what's our best draw next turn? A Triforge Allegiance?
Vulcan on site.
I spent more time with you than a lot of members of my family. Better time too. glad to be here. Thanks for the 31 months, Matt. Okay, Ola actually isn't terrible, because Ola is notably going to give me enough toughness on these recruits so they don't die to the Forked Lightning outright, which is nice. So I think I start here and see what we draw. A Vengeful Heirloom. I think Heirloom is better than the Forgeling for sure, right? So we'll burn this, and we'll drop this. And then there's no reason to attack into here, so we'll just go ahead and pass back. Hold on. Hold on. Moment, boys. I apologize. You see, chat, there is only one pink sword in their game of Terraria, and sharing is difficult. It's a hard knock life. All right, so we're gonna get some reparations here, it's looking like. Maybe, we'll see. If we get to trigger reparations here, I'm feeling pretty good. It's the same sword as yesterday? It is, yeah. It is, in fact, the same sword as yesterday. Those of you that have been following along on our adventures. Ooh, that's a good one. I got reparations here, too. What do I got in here? I think I'm starting here. See what we get. Okay, and then I haven't burned anything yet for the turn. So let's burn a Venomfang. Is that right? If I burn Venomfang, I can Heirloom and Conviction. So I could do this. I have to hit here, right? I can trade here. I can hit here. I can Conviction here. And trade this off. And let's go ahead and do this and pick back up. Honestly, probably another Heirloom. Let's burn this. Hello, baby daughter.
Dad, I want to play outside.
You want to play outside? I bet your brothers would love to play outside too. Yeah. Need to go have fun in the playset? Yeah. A third person to share the sword. They all want the sword. Huh, maybe I should have picked the Academy Recruits back up with instead of I forget what I picked back up. I think I might have messed up there. I guess I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards here. Look at that. I intentionally didn't pick up the Academy Recruits last turn because I knew that these were gonna roll off the top of my deck here. For those of you taking notes at home, I think we start here. See what we draw. Duality. It's probably pretty good. Do this and trade these off. I think I'm just burning a Forgeling again here. So I guess is the mode even good? Or would I rather just like drop the Spellflux Cauldron this turn? I could burn the mode and drop the Forgeling and then Spellflux plus these and attempt to kill them next turn. I think I like that actually. Let's do that. Let's burn that. And then drop this here. Do I want to put this artifact on top of my deck? Yeah, it seems fine. Might end up burning it. We'll see. It technically draws me a bunch of cards next turn. They could suppress whatever they're attacking with this. Would be good. If they suppress a copy of Conviction's probably our best draw. It has a ton of resources here. This thing makes a ton of resources, right? For every 2 energy, gain 1 temporary mana, and then lose that much energy. So this can give them +4 here. Or am I about to get this into clap? If they have Magnus plus clap, we could be in trouble. Yeah, I think we're gonna get clapped here too. They have 2 blue left. I don't know that we can beat that one. I guess if we hit another Academy recruits, we could be okay. Some of our cheap orange cards could be okay too. Do I want to auto cam before I do this? Probably. Okay, that's not terrible. So if I Grigori Protocol here, and then I could corroded equipment over here.
Okay.
19 cards left in deck. All right. Man, just the unreasonable amounts of grind. Well, I guess my banner over here is actually covering some of my artifacts. Cover my portrait instead. It's a little better. I apologize. I'm a little sad that we went through most of the video with it like that. You should have yelled at me, chat. Been like, this is unacceptable, Hogland. Okay, what are the odds they have Misanthropia on top of all of their claps and stuff? Probably high, I imagine. If that's the case, they have 2 Misanthropia, 1 clap left. We haven't drawn any of our Triforge allegiances yet, right? There's still 2 of those in our deck. Yep. 19 and 19 cards. Put it on. 10 resources here and run out of time. I can't even imagine how many options they have on their turn here. These turns just have so much going on. Oh, am I dead? Did we just get killed by Horn? I think we just got punked out by Horn, huh? Whale shit. Huh. All Father's Horn is very good. It gives a standard action to all your minions and gives you your mana back. I wonder if they miss lethal by running out of time there. I feel like there's a chance they probably had lethal and missed it. Okay, so I start here. I can do this here. Oh, my sequencing here sucks. These should be bigger.
Do we have a mission?
Yeah, all of these should be 1 bigger from my thing. Crazy game. The games with these decks full of artifacts get wild. Oh, I bet they had that last turn and they had the resources to do it. Yeah, the horn's such a powerful combo finish at the very top end. Big swing turn there. I gotta keep that in mind when we're playing in something like that. They had I guess turns like that are pretty uncommon, right? Because they like played on a bunch of units and effectively gave them haste with the horn. They were only able to do that because they had so much mana saved up on the one artifact. At any rate, I'm super happy with this deck. I think I'm gonna lock this in as my second of 3 decks for their tournament coming up on the 20th. I'm planning to play in their first open qualifier because I've been enjoying the format. I'm going to play this as one. I'm going to play the blue-purple fragile as one. And then my deck that's in the running for the third one is, I think this doesn't overlap. I need to double check. I might have one too many Venomfang Mutants. I actually wasn't sure if I wanted that split anyways. I could turn a Venomfang into a second, or I only have 2 cards. So for people that aren't familiar with this game, the way their format works is you pick 3 decks and you basically have to set the decks on top of each other and meet the deck building requirements for them in all of them. So for example, I have 2 Venomfang Mutants in my other yellow tokens deck, so I can only play 2 in this deck if I wanted. And Corrode Equipment's an uncommon, so if I'm using 2 of those in the other deck, I can only use 1 in here. I think this third Venomfang is actually my only overlap between the 2 of them right now, though. Yeah, it's a interesting way to do the restrictions. They plan to have their tournament mode support sideboards and single deck formats as well at some point, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely someone that enjoys single deck formats more than multi-deck formats, but I think I've got 3 decks that I enjoy that meet the requirement well. So I think Wednesday we're going to be doing Mythgard again on stream. We're probably going to play the red-yellow sack deck on that day. So at any rate, if you want to check out Mythgard, you can do it on their website, Steam, or mobile. And make sure you check out the 4 free core set giveaway codes. We should get the other 2 of those this week to get all 6 core set color cards for free. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Magic the Gathering. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be starting Ratchet and Clank as my next non-card game variety game on the PlayStation. Yes, yeah, you have to have different paths and powers as well. And you can see actually on my things, you can see the path and the power are here. So these 3 decks are ones that I all kind of like. I haven't played this one as much. I've only played 2 matches with it, but I like it in theory. If it continues to feel good, it meets the requirements pretty elegantly with these other ones. So, all right, I'll catch all y'all around later. Remember, you can catch, if you want to see more Mythgard stuff from me too, and you haven't caught all of it, all of my segments end up on my YouTube channel. Like if you want to see this blue-purple fragile deck, we did 2 sessions with it last week, I believe. So that's up there. This deck is very sweet. So, catch you later, folks. Find someone to host here before we